So real quick before I shoot the next video, I added this as an add-in before this video, just to say, in case you're new here, I want you to understand that when you see me and I seem to be always covered in hair, that's not mine. If you're new, you probably don't know. I have 3 huskies and we're in shed season, and it's almost impossible to keep it off me any time of the year, especially now. So I apologize for husky glitter that may be attached to my clothing or anything else in this videos. Sorry, just wanted to make that clear. I'm not shedding, they are. On to the video. Hey guys, Paul here. Thought I'd do a quick The Good, the Bad, and the Books. Do an update of what I've read and what I'm reading since I got back from Pulp Fest. I did take a week off of shooting videos. Nothing was wrong. I just really needed some downtime, some me time, and some time to finish a couple books. Nothing major, no big deal. I hope you don't mind, and I appreciate you sticking with me. Well, I didn't shoot for a week. In any case, let's talk about what I finished, what I've read, and what's going on with the channel, and all that good stuff. So, I did, like I say, if you saw the videos, finish DC Jones Adventure Command International Secret of the Sunken Tomb, and the small add-on book, background book, DC Jones Internet. These are action accessories is what it's called. Fun little, just a little background extra book. These are from Becky Books by Jim Beard. I did a video of those, as well as the Men's Adventure Reader from Men's Adventure Library. There's a video up, Ink and Ammo episode 3, that I talk about all these. So if you want to know more, go check that video out.
Now we know!
And knowing is half the battle.
So I did finally finish The Vinyl Detective after I put it aside for a while accidentally. And since I'm not going to do a specific review for this, I'll do like a mini review and tell you about it. The Vinyl Detective. This is written in dead wax, the first book in the series, by Andrew Cartmel. And this is a series about a unintentional detective. He collects old records and gets involved in cases involving the music industry and searching for mysteries amongst old LPs and such. If you're a music fan, you might really like this series. This first book is actually feels like it's 2 books in one, because they finish kind of a mystery and there's an attached second mystery and it goes on. So it really does feel like 2 books divided into, like, the first 2/3 is one book and the last third is another book. I thought it was a little long because of that. It felt a little drawn out, but it was fun. It was well done. If you like music, you might really get into this series. Every book is based on a different style of music. The first one is old jazz. So it's, like I said, about a very likable English detective who gets accidentally mixed up into mysteries involving music. And he's not purposely a detective. He gets hired based on his skill of finding music and records for clients, and kind of accidentally falls into these cases. And there's a lot of stuff about cats and coffee, if that inspires you further. But yeah, it's mostly music detective. Not hard-boiled, more of a British, good-natured oaf kind of guy.
What did you call me?
And it was fun, but like I said, it felt a little drawn out because it's basically 2 books in one, because the first mystery ends and the second mystery kind of picks up where it takes off, which is connected to the first mystery. So
How much of that did you understand?
I enjoyed it. I would read the second one. So if this appeals to you, check it out. The Vinyl Detective, written in dead wax by Andrew Cartmel. I did finish Hostel by Luke Scull. He's normally a fantasy writer who's decided after a few years off from writing to write a horror book. This will be done as a review, hopefully this week, coming up. I plan on doing this in the Horror Bound in Red section. With any luck, there will be a review up for this week. So if you're interested in hearing about this and any other horror books that I may have read this month, check out Horror Bound in Red, hopefully this week. I'm currently reading for the Werewolf Project High Bloods by John Ferris. You may know John Ferris from several other horror books he's done. Anyway, I'm hoping to finish this week and get it up as a review for the Werewolf Project, along with anything else I may finish short story wise. So I'm hoping to get this up as a review after this week. Should finish it this week and get my Werewolf Project video up, the first one. At least that's the plan.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I'm also reading Noah Freger's Gabriel's Watch, book 1 of the Scrapman trilogy. This was given to me by the author, Noah Freger. And I've started this, and hopefully I'll have my sci-fi video up going before next month as well. And I'm only, just starting this. But like High Bloods, I'm also enjoying this very much. So hopefully I can get it done this week and get the sci-fi video up this week as well. Also this week, I've read a couple humorous cat books because I was going to do a cat humor video. We'll see how that goes. But I read How to Tell If Your Cat is Plotting to Kill You, which is kind of a cartoon strip comic book, and How to Know If Your Cat is Trying to Introduce Communism into Your House, which is kind of a goofy humor book, obviously, as well. So I've read those, and we'll see if I'm going to go ahead with the cat humor book. I got 2 more books lined up I'm going to try, and we'll see how the video goes. I also read 3 Ordinary Girls, which is a nonfiction story about 3 Dutch teenagers, Honey, Freddie, and Truus, I said that right, who were spies as teenagers in Holland against the fascist Nazis when they moved into Holland. There's some really interesting stuff in there about what the Nazis did when they moved into Holland and how they took over the culture and the country. Of course, the most interesting thing is to see how these young teenage girls managed to fight back against these armed, horrible, vile fascists who took over their country. It was a fairly enjoyable book, and if you're into that kind of thing, if that's something that interests you, if you want to know specifically about how Holland dealt with the Nazi invasion and what happened inside Holland, it's a very focused book on that subject, and it's very interesting to see how these girls reacted to having their country taken over. So if that sounds appealing and you're into nonfiction, check it out. I also read Dark Beauty by Peter Codron. I will get more into that in the sci-fi review I do after I finish Gabriel's Watch. It's kind of an homage to Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. Like I said, I'll talk more about that when I do a sci-fi video. And I finished Leitch Ritchie's The Man Wolf, which was written in 1831. It was one of the first ever werewolf stories written in Britain. That will be in the werewolf video. I read a couple other werewolf short stories, which I might talk about in the werewolf video when I get that finished. So if you're interested, check it out. In case you don't know, the Werewolf Project, I plan on every month reading a werewolf-based book or lycanthropy-based book. It may not be wolves, it can be bears or whatever, but that's the plan. And do a little review every month on what I read regarding werewolves for that month, or maybe even what I watched or something related. I also read a short story called Oaf, and I really don't put short stories towards my count, but it was cute. It's a supernatural kind of magical realism book about a ghost dog baby. It was fun. It was cute. I got it free through Kindle Unlimited. If this interests you and you have Kindle Unlimited, want to download it and read a quick short story, and like dogs like I do, maybe check it out. So I'm going to post this video and work on a couple others. Hopefully I'll get those books done and those reviews done and have the review at least of Hostel up for you this week. That's the plan. I should hopefully shoot that Monday when I have the afternoon off in the house to myself. And I should have in the next week or so the monthly book haul up. Not like I didn't haul enough books this week, but
I think you've done quite enough damage already, don't you?
there's stuff I gathered from other places, my local used bookstore, etc. That'll be up probably in a week. And I do have my graphic novel and manga to still read this week. Hopefully I can get those done this week as well. I just did a real short video where I recited my favorite poem, Alone, which is by Edgar Allan Poe, and a little blurb about his obituary. It's just like a 2.5 minute video, and I put it up like Sunday morning. So if you're interested, check that out. It's just a little fun extra aside. I filmed that on the night of the Black Moon, the new moon they call the Black Moon for the month. And I just thought it was appropriate and kind of a cute, fun, cool little thing to do. I'm hoping to do something that's kind of book tangent, which is about book and board games, because I'm a board game player, tabletop player, and I got a board game that's very much related to collecting books, and I thought it'd be cute to show you and talk a little bit about board games related to books. That's something I'm planning on hoping to do real quick, and I'm not sure how many will be interested, but I thought I'd give it a try because I do have another channel that I do about board games, and I don't give it a lot of love. It doesn't get a lot of attention, but every once in a while I throw things up there. And if you guys are interested, if you guys are board gamers or tabletop gamers, role players, that kind of thing, let me know. Tell me, and maybe I'll put more effort into that channel, and we can discuss books and board games. Who knows? And my cat is currently in the process of coughing up a fur ball, and I hope you can't hear that. Sorry.
I'm gonna choke one of these little fur balls out right in front of you.
So anyway, like I said, just a quick good, the bad, and the books to update you on what I've read, what's going on, and what's coming up. And like I said, I do appreciate you sticking with me for the week I took off. And I'll probably do a bunch of videos now to make up for it, because I kind of do that where I just throw a bunch of videos together at once. So now I'm going to overwhelm you. And I want to say hey and thank you to my buddy. My giant pain in the ass was sitting in the hospital and finally feeling good enough to start catching up on my videos and seems to be binging them, which makes me very happy. So anyway, I will have another video up pretty soon, as I'm planning on filming a bunch of things this week. And thank you so much for those who have watched and those who are subscribing. And please do subscribe if you haven't yet. I would greatly appreciate it. And remember, the secret to Zen: read books, pet dogs, and listen to metal. Hope I see you soon.